Call the meeting to order. We'll stand for the pledge. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Everybody received the minutes of the last meeting. Any questions, comments, changes?
Make a motion to accept them as presented.
Second.
Steve?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Randy?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes. Everybody received the treasurer's report. Any questions?
Move to accept.
I'll second.
Steve?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Randy?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes. Those we got voucher 1104 through 1132 for a total of $30,816.88. Questions on that?
Make a motion to pay 1104 to 1132 for a total of $30,816.88.
Second. Motion by Randy, second by Tom.
Steve?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Randy?
Yes.
Tom?
Communications. Flyer from Pinsky Law Group for Board of Director and Executive Officer Training for Emergency Services Leaders, October 25th and 26th at the Turning Stone. And another flyer for must-have policies. This is an annual, this is an ongoing thing?
Yeah, it's like a subscription service. You get a policy a month and some videos on how to implement it.
Okay. $1,500 a year. Any other communications? That's it? Commissioners report, administration.
Oh, I would say, I think everybody saw the email today from Dave Dennison. If you haven't had an opportunity to make a comment on the OSHA.
Oh, on the Ocean 1910?
You might want to.
Financial.
Budget starts next week. The first meeting, next week's meeting will be at Station 3.
Did we decide we're going to have them all like that? Did we decide what we're going to do?
We did? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Station 3, 6:30.
All right.
Truck maintenance, chief.
I go with him, believe it or not, I'm not gonna win.
That's a good thing. Maintenance, Jeff?
Yes, he sent me the new price for the new thing for updated for the floor per year. Of course, the price went up. Not a lot. The original was $80,583, and now it's $82,848. So a difference of $2,265.
I'm sorry, what was it, 82?
848.
848.
So
How come the difference?
Well, the quote I had was from last year.
Okay.
Is it because you're from Northwest on it?
No. I just need the okay the difference.
It is, but not. We budgeted off the quote that we had, so. What did you say, was it an extra two?
Yeah,
Two,
two
three?
and change. And then also, you okay, parts for the Plymouth back, well, they broke another thing. Need additional $620. So it'll be $2,090.
For all the parts?
Yes.
So how did this last one break?
Don't know. Because I put it back together Friday. I backed the truck, I pulled the truck, hooked it up, pulled the truck out, it came off. Did 3 times I did it and it worked like it's supposed to. And one of the chiefs keeps telling me that the bladder doesn't deflate. And I don't know what he's looking at because it does. I don't know what they're looking at.
So it's not coming off the pipe?
That's what they're saying, but I don't know why it's not coming off the breakaway, but they're pulling the brake in the pulleys. Because it's supposed to be a breakaway that comes apart, but.
Think they're going too fast?
It depends on who you talk to. I think we should bring in Plymouth Inc. guy and officially tell us, because some say we're not driving fast enough. You go to other firehouses, they get into the thing and they use them all day and are running multiple alarms. We seem to have a problem over here. I don't know if we're going too fast, too slow. I don't know if, then there's discussion about whether or not there's a bracket on the bottom. It's in too far or out too far.
No, I already checked into that. That's right where it's supposed to be.
Well,
Because if you move the bracket in and then it doesn't, you move it out, then it doesn't suction.
which makes sense to me too. I don't know. Like I said,
Do they have a rep that would come out and take a look at it? I think we should do
Probably
that.
should do that.
This is crazy.
I mean, what is too fast? And they're designed to pull out and break away. They're not designed to pull out, to stop, to manually get out and remove them. I could make them do that, but that's not what we got a grant for $300,000 for. But I also know that we're not supposed to do 50 miles an hour either coming out of there, which I don't think that's the case either. But I don't have an answer for you. That's why we need some manufactured rep's help. Because I'll put a policy in place, but I'm not gonna do that until somebody can tell us this is why it's happening.
Exactly. Can we do that?
I'll call her and set something up when I order the bar.
She give you a price for service?
No, not for the yearly maintenance, yes, but not for it just to come out here. I don't know.
Did they do a maintenance on it or no?
There's a thing they got, we were gonna put in the budget for yearly preventive maintenance on all of them, at all stations.
But that's not being done, right now, we're not
No, we're
doing
not
that right
doing
now.
that, no.
So let's look at getting, at least let's start with look at getting the rep here and
All right.
see if, and we got tunnel vision, right? So maybe we're not seeing something that we should be seeing.
Just a side note, Station 3's ceiling's all done, striping's all set. Also, we've used the floor machine a couple of places, and here, Station 3, and I did some at Station 2. And you'd be disgusted with the water that comes out of it. It's like chocolate milk.
Is it really? It work good?
Yes.
Does a good job?
So that's all I have.
Jeff, is the air working in here?
No, I did, the things froze up outside.
Don't talk so much.
No, I'm hotter.
Before you move on.
Yeah. Windows open?
Good?
Yep.
Okay. I'll make a motion, we do the floor at the additional
Okay.
82,800, not additional 82,000, the additional 2,000, whatever it was, for a total of 82,848.
Second it.
Second by Becky.
Steve,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Randy,
Yes.
Tom.
Yes.
We need to do a motion for the extra part. A motion for that, right? And that's a repair part.
I would, because you're spending funds. It's additional funds over what we already approved.
To spend money? Yeah. You should.
Okay. Well, then I'll make a motion, we spend the additional $620 for the plus event parts. And part of that motion I would make that we get the rep in here to at least take a look at what's going on with it.
Second.
Steve,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Randy,
Yes.
Tom.
Yes.
Okay, Wayne.
Yep. Just got 3 RTPs. One is for the fit test annual calibration. And then there's the 10 new pagers and recycling box for the bulbs.
I'll make a motion to pay PO 2321 2223 for a total of $56.45. Second.
Steve,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Randy,
Yes.
Tom.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else, Wayne?
Update on the printers.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Station 3, the printer is broken. I called the rep and talked to him. I asked him to get a new one. I said, this printer's only been in the stations 2 weeks. He says, I don't know what the issue is. He said it was a fan motor. He changed it out and it ends up being the circuit board is broken, damaged, whatever, burned. It's not working. So they have to order the other part. So that one's still down. The printouts, they finally figured out what they were doing, and they are now starting to come through, except for meetings. So they're coming through all the printers, except for Station 3, I don't know because it's not working, but I would imagine that it is because it did show up on the report. But I am working, hopefully I can get yours fixed, hopefully tomorrow, now that they know
Yeah.
whatever they changed out. Because apparently it's programmed one way and the HP printers are programmed a different way and they didn't like each other. So, but they figured that part out, so.
What kind of printers are the new printers?
The new ones are HPs.
HPs?
No,
The old ones weren't HPs?
no, the old ones were Xerox. So, but hopefully after tomorrow, or at least a day or two, they'll be where they're supposed to be, and I'll update you when the other printer gets fixed. I told them I wanted it replaced, but I don't know whether that'll happen.
I wonder if the fan being out overheated the board.
Could very well be. I mean, it was working, but I think what happened is when they tried programming the printers and it didn't like what they were doing, and all the printers were set up to print like 1,000 sheets. Probably didn't like it. So, but I was able to get through and clear all of them, except for that one. That was the only one that wouldn't clear. So, and then it just shut down, so, but we'll get through it.
Okay. Anything else on security computers?
The only thing that I was gonna bring up, just to let you guys know, I did have a call from the alarm company that the alarm at Station 3 had an error Monday night. That it was failing to communicate. They called me at like 1 in the morning, but when I went down there the next morning, it was on, and it like reset itself and was on. I had spoke to Wayne and Jeff, and they said that they had the same problem like the week prior, that it did the same thing. So it hasn't happened since, and it seems to be working okay, but if you guys want me to call for service, I can call and have them come look at it.
Well, I guess it depends if you want a phone call at 1 in the morning again. I mean,
It doesn't bother me, because my phone's on quiet, so I didn't get it anyway, so.
I don't have a problem waiting to see if we have another issue with it, if it was a one-time issue or.
Well, it's happened a couple of times.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But the problem is it would get the valve communication error, it would go off, and then the system would reset itself.
And then it's hard to diagnose because it's not in error.
Right, and then of course, they're getting it on their end because it constantly trips and it shows in the log. I mean, it's just like communication error, reset, communication error, reset.
Well, if it's in the logs, they should have, maybe we should put a service call in and have them see if they can investigate why it's doing that.
Yeah, I mean, Doyle monitors it, and we have had them go out there and do the annual testing, but the original system is through Davis Almer.
Oh, that's
So-
right, that's the different one.
Yeah, this is the one where Doyle's the third party, you know, but I would rather have Doyle come in.
Well, that's what I was just gonna say, so who do we call for that, Doyle or?
You know, I would start with Doyle, and if they need to go back to Davis Almer, then they will.
I mean, I would think we should go and look at it, so if it's happened, 'cause, you know, there's some frequency to it, there's obviously something going on there.
Right, and I don't know what it is. I mean, it could be where, you know, it just drops. I mean, we thought that because it was right around the time that we lost power on that side of town. And we thought maybe it was just a glitch in the system and it just, when power came back on,
Does that run off Wi-Fi?
I don't
Is that
think so.
No? No, I was just curious, you know, is it something totally separate from the alarm system that's causing it, you know what I mean?
I mean, it's, what is it, analog? Or data log?
Yeah,
They
let's
were
have-
one way and then they changed it to the other. So, but I don't think it's gonna hurt to have them come in and look at it. At least that way we'll
I
know.
would, I mean, if nobody has an issue with it, I think we should have them come and look at it. Anything else? Wayne, good? Chief, you're up?
Yep, under the safety, been going back and forth with Tony Blackwell from the insurance company, trying to get something together for a mental health program. You know, we were ahead of the game trying to work on it, but it's part of that OSHA thing. It almost looks like we're gonna have to invent the wheel here. I multiple calls with them. I talked to him face to face at the chief show on this. He's reached out to their resources. I have nothing back yet, but I'm trying to stay ahead of the game. But I think there's going to be a significant cost to that because we're going to need outside sources. But I'm working on it, but it's a struggle.
So, like, Kraus has a program they run for a lot of companies.
Right.
Help people or
Okay.
something like that, and it's, I mean, it can help people deal with a whole array of things, from financial to personal to whatever. And I think, you know, I can check with our HR, I think we pay like an annual fee for that or something, and then in our case, it's employees, in this
Yeah.
case, it would be members. You call there and I think the initial stuff is no charge to
Yeah.
that person.
Yeah.
Now, if it requires more in-depth stuff, I think
Right.
that's a different story,
Well-
but I don't know if that's,
We have a very basic, through the insurance company, there is a program that I think, there's an 800 number they can set up, they can refer them to in-person, they can do a telematic type thing, but it's limited to like 10
so many visits or
Visits.
something. Yeah,
but again, same thing, it can be anything from divorce, financial, like it doesn't have to be necessarily fire service issue, but it is limited to just 10 visits and then,
I would think you guys gotta, where are you guys at as far as, I can't be the only fire department that knows that we need this.
Right, but as I said before, we're still probably like at least a year or two away from this actually being implemented. So,
More than implemented, I still think it's something that's important, whether it's a requirement by OSHA or not.
it's
So-
not a bad idea, but it's by no means mandatory at this point.
Right, okay.
You might want to check with National Volunteer Fire Council.
National Volunteer Fire Council,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Council.
And I might even have the number at home.
Sure you do, I'll take that. That's it, no injuries report, nothing like that, so knock on wood.
All right. We want to go over the RTPs?
Yeah, so I see the very first bullet point, 6 wearable safety lights for PFDs and webbing and rip back, but there's no price. I know there was on there, I don't know what, I submitted that paperwork to you guys, I don't know what the price is. But, well, while you're looking, and then the fire hooks for 1945, the personal escape system for $20,569.07. That's on, I don't want to, it's HGAC program, but that's for interior firefighters to redo their bailout systems. That'll cover us. That's what that 20,000 is for. Then 3 cordless drills impacts that come with batteries. That's 3 for a total of $597. Then Milwaukee Electric Tools, high output 8 battery RAM housing for $1,500. And then the Attack Pro camera. These are, that one is the tick cameras. 20,000 I got on a grant from the state. 3,000 would be coming from my budget. It's for 6 total cameras, not 1. It's for 6. Then the rear hose bed divider for engine 21. That would be on the top of the bed. I want to split the bed and put an additional leg in. I got to be honest with you, without seeing the RTP, I don't know what the pulse bag is. I don't remember. Then the RAM housing, we damaged the Hearst RAM to repair that at $724. Then the 2 Superback fans were $12,000. The hose washer is what I'm trying, as I mentioned, I'm buying 1. If it works, I'll end up buying 4 at a total of 4. Then the deck gun program for engine 21, that puts the deck gun on the top of the truck. I repiped it and whatnot. That was been planned for a while. And the one thing that's missing was we submitted for radios last month. That's not on here. That was roughly $30,000. I provided the commissioners with the sole source provider letter, which that's the only place we could buy Motorola product. All of the stuff that I listed, with the exception of the repair, all falls in line with what I have budgeted within the operational budget. The radios would be a separate budget out of the radio budget. Everything else would come out of, the chief's budget.
The pulse bag was LA Rescue 02 to go.
It was there several, because that was
10 of them.
Okay, that was a question that you
10
guys
at
had
$190.
that I don't have the answer for yet. So if you want to set that aside,
Okay.
you're more than welcome to. There was a question on, because I had brought up they wanted to standardize my office, and Wayne had said we had purchased a handful of those before, so I don't have updated info on that. Do you have the price of the 6 wearable safety lights, LPF?
Yeah, those were $49.99 each for a total of $299.94.
Thank you.
What were the radios?
You guys have that paperwork. It was around 30,000, Mark.
It's 28 something, I believe.
28 something, yeah.
Natural gas, wouldn't you? Go figure.
heads up, Tony.
What's that?
I said, I'm just giving you a heads up. That with the purchase of these radios, it puts you over your budget.
By how much can you tell me by?
I would say almost $5,000.
Can I see what we're purchasing on that? I just gotta make sure that I wanna take the $5,000. It may make sense, because it's not gonna get cheaper, but I wanna know it's right. Do you have the paperwork on the radio?
I don't have the invoices. I just
Yeah,
made
I
a
don't have
note that it was
them.
28,000, roughly.
But I think I have it in my email, hang on a second.
I know this outfits one entire truck, and I believe including the mobile. I think I would take the $5,000 out of that budget, or take the radio budget, and if I need $5,000 out of the op budget, it's worth it to me to get that project done.
I don't know that I've ever seen the invoices, I just remember discussion about it at the last meeting.
Yeah, we didn't know, I didn't know that it was, wasn't that on state contract, wasn't that a state contract too?
Yeah, I believe it was
And
as well.
sole source.
Sole source state contract.
I only have 9 million emails to go through. So, chargers, there was 6 chargers in the programming, that was 786. One mobile, right? Was
Yes,
one
sir.
mobile?
Yes,
That
sir.
was 55, 76, 32. The 6 portables, 20,179.92. Your initial thing was 28,592.24.
Steve, how old is that quote? Can you tell the date?
6, well, your request, let me look at the quote. That was the date here. 6/10.
Okay, good, okay. Just making sure it's not, 3-4 months old, because chances are
Yeah,
it
no,
was.
6/10. Actually, I think that came from Toby, I think maybe
Yes,
sent
it
to me,
did.
yeah. So and you're saying there's only like 20,
Well, based off 28, it's not that, there's 26 something in the budget left.
Okay.
So he's gonna be a little short, but not as short as I thought, basing it off of 30,000.
okay, right. So we're gonna leave the pulse bag off, right?
Yeah, until I get a better grip and explanation on that,
Okay.
please.
You told one of them, is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
that's what the overall plan is which we think would help.
He ordered 3 different sizes depending on
Yeah.
whether
I
it
believe
was
that.
for the squad, for the engine, or for the truck. I think the other one was shoe posts.
So the total for all the RTPs is $100,028.18. I
One
think
more
that
time,
completes
please.
your budget. $100,028.18.
Yeah.
And I would just say, Megan, if you can for future ones, total what?
Oh, yeah.
When you put them on there, just so that we have a total, so we don't have to
Yeah, then if
add
we
during
put-
the meeting.
We can
We can do a quick adjustment, but if
adjustment.
we have a,
Make it.
Now, correct me, just so I know how this works. The radios will come out of the radio budget, right? Okay, good enough. Yep, I'm happy. Okay.
I will say, and this is nothing to do with anyone, but this is how Wayne orders. So if these don't get to Wayne, then get orders. So if we don't have the radio RTP, someone needs to either
Can I have them back and then I'll review them and
rewrite or do something with it to,
yeah, because I don't think the radio, if the paperwork for the radios is not there, then the RPTP's not there.
You want them all, right?
Yes, and I'll just review them after the meeting with Wayne, make sure he's got what he needs.
So, here's what I think happened with the radio when you weren't here.
Correct.
Derek sent it to me like right before the meeting or something like
Okay.
that, and we printed off the quotes. I don't know that I don't know that there was ever, because we weren't gonna purchase them that night.
Correct, we just
I
wanted.
don't know that there was an RPT.
You did, I don't think there was.
attached to it, To
Okay,
be honest with you.
all right.
I think we
I'll
just
get
had the
together.
quotes for them. We discussed the quotes, and then we thought we would have to go out to bid. We didn't realize it was a
No
state
problem.
contract, single source, so.
All right. I don't have any other.
That price you came up with, is that minus the pulse bag, or did you just include them in?
no, that includes them,
That
because I just
includes
went
it,
through
And you're just,
the list.
that's, the pulse bags, that's, you just want to do more research on it, is that?
Yeah, I just gotta give you a better explanation,
Okay,
you know, before, because what we wanna do is standardize all the bags.
Right.
And that way it would help with inventory and make things easier for us. However, Wayne said that they had bought or not they, we had bought in 3 different style bags through the years, and it's a bunch of hodgepodge. I wanna just be able to come back and talk fact on that first. That's okay. I'll do that. I don't have anything else to report on tonight.
Thank God.
you can't afford it.
What's that new total then?
97,818.28
I'll make a motion and we pay that whole list except for the pulse bag for a total of 97,818.28.
What's that again?
97,818.28.
I'll second.
Steve,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Randy,
Yes.
Tom.
Yes. Anything else, chief?
No, thank you.
Resignations, Baldwinsville none, Lysander, McKinsey Dunbar.
No, but we need that, we get that.
We accept.
We don't, do you have any left?
All I have is,
New members, Baldwinsville Heidi Knapp, I'm assuming that's how you pronounce
I
that,
think so.
Knapp. Pending background check. And Lysander Connie Reitz, pending a background check.
3 or 4 of them together, I'll show you. Okay.
No updates to either department.
No,
No,
this
those are
is,
those two.
Oh, okay.
he was just sharing it with me.
You good?
Yeah, he-
Okay, all right, I didn't know if you had a question.
no,
Old business? Any old business?
I've got something, if there's nothing else. The reserve funds were discussed a few meetings ago, and we had talked about updating them to make sure they're in compliance with New York State law. Right now, we don't have the paperwork to show that they were formed when they were formed and that they were voted on properly by the public. And since at least a couple years ago, the state requires that. So I've drafted some resolutions to establish some new reserve funds, and basically you would be transferring what you currently have in your reserves over to the new ones that are just formed in the proper compliant way. As it stands right now, you have 4 reserve funds, unless you correct me, and there's one that I don't. I believe there's a vehicle, building, equipment, and then a general capital repair fund. So, first I have a question for you, and then from there I'll tell you what's in this resolution. But my first question is, what is the repair fund for? Is that specific to buildings or equipment or anything?
Equipment, I believe.
Just equipment?
the repair and reserve?
Yes.
Okay, so that was basically created for any repair that wasn't budgeted for, a roof repair,
A
a
major repair.
boiler blows up and we have to replace the boiler, something that was major that we wouldn't have anticipated.
Is it specific to buildings or anything at all, even equipment?
I thought it was both, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't think it was, the repair and reserve was already established when we became the Northwest Fire District.
Okay.
I just, from my time on the board, I think we've only ever used it for a building,
Okay.
the couple of times that we've used it, but it, I don't know what the original
We
intent
dabbled
was.
in, I remember dabbling, talking about when we blew the motor on one of the fire trucks that I could use, because we had the quote of 50 grand to fix that motor, and we talked about taking it from there, but we didn't end up doing that, but we talked about it.
So,
Can it be a general repair, or does it have to be?
in theory,
Of course not.
maybe. Because it would be a capital improvement regardless of whether it's equipment or it's building. Typically, you would split it to one general area. So for example, the new ones that I have drafted, there's only 3, and they have long names now. Vehicle purchase, replacement, improvement, repair, and maintenance fund. That's one fund, but the name says everything that you can use it for. And then you have the same thing for equipment, purchase, replacement, improvement, repair, and maintenance. And then building, construction, improvement, repair, and maintenance. So the reason I'm asking the question about the current repair fund that you have is I want to know if we're going to use just these 3 that I'm drafting now, where's that repair reserve going to go into? Because it can be absorbed into those 3, or we can keep it as is if you want just a general one. But these 3 that I'm creating are already specific to one thing, you know, equipment or vehicle or building. So it should be absorbed into one of those 3 in theory.
So this is gonna be my suggestion, just based off of what we spent. We basically depleted the equipment fund with the boat purchase.
Right.
There's gonna be like 40,000 left in it. So my suggestion would be to take, if we're gonna do this, take the repair and reserve and put it into the equipment fund to help oyster that.
Do you know what the balance is on that, or what we have in that?
So the repair, 67.
Oh, okay.
It's a low amount, we didn't keep a lot in there, because we didn't assume, again, it was just for something that would be an unexpected repair expense, like, I think we used it once when the boiler blew at Station 4.
So this
One of
is,
them.
so this is something that would have to go to vote, right? Or,
Yeah, so how it works is you all would pass the resolution and then you can decide. If you want to have a special election, you can, and the voters vote on it, or you can wait until the annual election in December and just put that on the ballot then. But either way, the voters need to approve the funds. Once they approve the funds, then any expenditure out of it is just subject to permissive referendum, so.
so would it not, would it be easiest to do it at the December meeting? And then it starts with a 2025 year budget? Right, I mean,
Yeah.
That
I
makes
mean,
sense to me.
does it, or do you feel that we need to have a special, I mean, it seems foolish to have a special election. I mean,
It's
we got-
gonna cost you, because you're gonna have to put out notices and whatnot, and then
Right.
staff it, so,
And I mean, here we are, July, right?
Right.
So it would be probably August before we did anything on it, and then, you know, we're only a couple of months away from December, so to me, it would make more sense to just do it, if we feel that's what we should do, to just do it at the December meeting.
okay.
Agree.
I do like the wording in your thing.
It
so-
tells you exactly what you can do with it, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I'll finish that up based on what you told me, and I'll send it to you, and you can pass this whenever you'd like. There's no time limitation, you can pass it at the workshop meeting or anytime between now and December, provided that you pass it at least 34 days before the election, so we can get notices out.
And so the notice would have to state the intention of taking the money out of that fourth account and where we're putting it, right? It would
Yeah,
have to
and I
clearly
have that.
Okay,
Yeah, I have that drafted, it says that's what's gonna happen, they're gonna be moved from where they are now into the new ones. The next question then would be, are there any other funds that you want to create while we're at it? Cause it's easier to do it all in one shot if you wanted to add a fourth or fifth. We could.
should we create a Tony McIntyre fund?
No.
Thank you, Steve, appreciate that.
I just wanted to make your night.
Yes.
The way that these ones are set up, just to give you some background, is they're called general, which the ones you have now are general. These ones are general. So even though I'm being specific about what all you can use them for, they're general because they're not allocated to one specific purchase. There is a type-specific account you can create. So if you anticipate you're gonna be purchasing an aerial in the next couple years, you can create an aerial reserve fund. And if you create that fund, it can only be used for that purpose, but it doesn't require additional votes later on down the road when you actually wanna spend $1.5 million to purchase.
You don't even have to have a permissive? Or was
At
it-
that point, no, the type specific, no, because the theory is that
It was approved at the
the
time.
voters have already approved the purchase of it, yeah.
So do we create one for the truck that we're intending to buy down the road?
So Zach had sent me this today, and here's my only concern with that. A truck is 2 years out, we know, right, 2 or 3 years out, whatever, but let's say we start, forget our actual plans, right? Let's say that you come to us and say, hey, you know, we need to start, within 10 years, we need to replace the truck. Okay, so we start a fund for that, so we start putting money away. But when it comes time to maybe think about purchasing that, maybe something's changed, and now we don't need a truck. Now, it doesn't mean we would just have to go back to the voters and
Go back to the
change the
voters.
fund, so it's not a, you know, I just didn't know if I don't know, that was just my 2 cents.
The only reason to do it is to save you a little bit of the extra process of having to go back to the voters again to approve the purchase. But if there's a risk or a chance that you might be changing your minds at some point, you might go for a Quint as opposed to
Well,
rescue pumper.
I mean, at the end of the day, the only difference is you just gotta go to the voters again, and, I mean, they approved it once, I guess.
Right.
All they're really approving at that time is changing what you're spending it on, from
What you're
a truck to a heavy rescue or
Yes.
whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yes.
not like, it's not like we're trying to change it from a truck to, you know, another building or something. Helicopter.
We've got plenty of time, so if you come up with one, just let me know and I'll add it to the resolution.
The truck one would, off the top of my head, would be the one that would come to mind, I think.
Well, I'm just thinking, because we like literally just discussed it, and they're putting the committee together to start the process of looking at the truck, and the intent is that by January, we're ready to go out and purchase some type of,
Gonna go to bid for that one.
so I would
Probably
think,
makes sense.
I would get maybe not doing it for the next engine or like down the road, but maybe, because we know this one is imminent.
Okay, yeah.
And it starts out at $2.2 million, so that's not even manufacturer specific.
So it would probably make sense if you're doing this work to do one
For a truck.
for a truck.
Okay.
I would think. Everybody agree with that, or no? And again, worst case scenario, if something happened, we just gotta go to the public to change it.
Yeah.
A truck to a,
The other thing you could do too, if you were to change your minds, is you can leave the truck fund that's already been approved there
and start another.
and start a new one for
That's
like a
true.
rescue pumper, and then the truck one's already there.
Right, and another, so that would be the situation if a need came up that wasn't evident today, that all of a sudden we've gotta have this, we're gonna have to postpone the truck,
Right.
we could do that, so
Right,
yeah,
but-
gotcha.
After 5 to 10 years, you would have to go back. It times out after a certain amount of time. So,
Okay. You know what it is?
it's a long time.
Well, don't worry, he's gonna spend it before then anyway. Okay, I'm good with that.
I'll email that to everyone so you can review.
Okay. Thank you, Zach, for doing that. Any other old business? New business? Station usage, Northwest Station 4 on Saturday, August 10th for the only party. Comments from the public?
No, never mind.
Go ahead.
Since you brought up building, the rest of Station 1, is that like in limbo, or
What's that?
the rest of Station 1, they were supposed to add on?
Yeah, it was, I mean, I don't think it's, I would say it's in limbo, but I mean, we still do have plans to finish that up at some point in time.
Okay.
I don't think we have a, I mean, as far as I know, we don't have a date yet. We're certain.
No, unfortunately, the cost of construction threw a little bit of a monkey wrench when it rose so high. We were not anticipating.
Okay. I just hadn't heard anything in a while, and
Yeah, no.
I was just wondering.
Yeah, we're still putting money into the building fund for that purpose, but the cost of construction outpaced our savings.
Sounds familiar. Okay.
We don't know that. We can contact them.
Alrighty.
If I could request an executive for less than 5 minutes, but I'd like to discuss an employment hiring issue.
Okay.
You say that. You say 5 minutes.
It'll be 5.
Any decision to be made?
No decision, no expenditure, nothing like that.
Okay, then I'll just run through the next
Sure.
budget meeting, because then we can, the next meeting, the budget meeting is Tuesday, July 16th, 6:30 at Station 3. Workshop, Tuesday, July 23rd, Station 1, and then the next monthly meeting is August 13th, here at Station 1. So, I'll make a motion that we adjourn the regular meeting? No,
Just that we go
would
into
you go into executive session?
Yeah.
We don't have to, right, okay. With no decision to be made,
Right. To discuss an employment issue.
to discuss an employment issue.
Wait a
second?
This is on.
I'll second.
Steve?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Randy?
Yes.
That's the random repair.
Yes.
Where is the ring?
I don't know.